Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Joe Davis, Southern New Hampshire University, CJ 202 Discussion 7-1. We're getting near the end. This is unbelievable, huh? Time flies. Okay, very simple discussion. It says choose two elements that distinguish the criminal justice report from typical nonfiction writings. Okay? You can find all of this information in the module overview or in the document that's listed also there in the resources folder called writing style. Now I know a lot of you like to Google these topics and find information there. That's great. I can only strongly encourage you to use the material that you're given and then if you want add supplemental or new information, because in this particular discussion, as I read the material, the choices are really quite simple. Things that you would find in a criminal justice report that are not typical in a nonfiction writing would be that it's written in first person, that it's written in past tense, that language is important. And if you look in the overview, there's discussion about what language is important. And you account for what it is that you do, because a nonfiction writing, basically you would be an observer. In a criminal justice report, the officer is actively involved in it. Okay? The other thing is, or other things might be chronological order, because as I've mentioned, author Biggs calls it timeline, I believe. There's the chronological order of the officer's activity. You got the call, you went to the call, you arrived at the call, you talked to the victim. Then there's the chronological order or timeline of the event. The victim told me that they were arguing with their husband, that he shoved me down, I landed on the coffee table. Okay, that's the order of the event. So that might be a little different than a documentary, which may a nonfiction writing, because it may go back and forth. Okay, report all the results, including negative. Nonfiction work doesn't necessarily mean you put both sides of the argument in. We have to do that. And then include the elements of the crime for prosecution, the corpus delicti. We haven't talked a great deal about that. Um, Probably the easiest is burglary, or some places call it breaking and entering. The model penal code would refer to it as something like entering a structure with the intent to commit theft, arson, or any other felony. Something like that. Okay, so if you come into a house, a shed, a garage, and you're going to steal the lawnmower, you're going to steal food, it doesn't make any difference the dollar value, that's a burglary. So you need those elements of the crime in a crime report. Okay, and then finally, you have to take responsibility for your report. In other words, you're accountable. What did you do? Did you arrest somebody? Did you book them? Did you book evidence? Did you take photographs? Things like that. I hope that helps you. This is getting near the end, so this is, as I view it, a pretty easy one, a chance to spend the time on your final project. Keep those cards and letters coming.